if you're in separation, then this is going to help you to understand when when your twin is stubborn and you're stubborn, because you're mirrors of each other. So I want to look at the stubbornness between the twins at the moment. I was watching lots and lots of different readings, and there's this real theme appearing of like this kind of gridlock situation, where it's kind of like, well, you go first, and there you go. I'm hopelessly sorry. I'm going to right. What does the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine want to sing? And there you go. Let's remember that. So Divine Feminine wants to sing I'm Hopelessly Devoted to You, and Divine Masculine wants to sing You to Me Are Everything. So what the Divine Masculine is saying there is, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Now you've got the best of me, come on and get the rest of me, oh baby, right? So whereas the Divine Feminine is saying I'm hopelessly devoted to you, and she's just in a kind of state of hopelessness, but it's because she's so devoted to him, and he thinks that she should come and find him, and she thinks he should come and find him, and he thinks she should come and find her. She thinks he should come and find her, and she thinks he should come and find her, and he thinks she should come and find him. Right, so that's what's sticking them at the moment. And I want to look at this because you've got to understand something about twins, which is really becoming apparent to me, because twins are here for a purpose, and that stubbornness they've got when it's in the right place is really good, because it means that they can stand their ground. It means they can stand up for themselves. It means they can say no when they need to say no, and they can say yes when they need to say yes. But the trouble is when you're trying to get into union and you've got one twin saying, right, you make the move, and the other twin saying, no, you make the move. You've got this locked kind of situation. And so the first thing, let's have a look at what Eckhart Tolle wants to say. Presence removes time. Without time, no suffering, no negativity can survive. Right. So I suppose the question here is, how long are you going to do this for? And that's the kind of that's the current situation. So let's see if we can have a little bit of a conversation between the two, just with words. So the Divine Feminine wants to say, you make me feel complete. And the Divine Masculine wants to say, just thinking of you fills me with butterflies. Okay, beautiful. So of course butterflies are symbols of transformation as well. So the Divine Feminine is so let's look at this. The Divine Feminine is saying, come to me, you make me feel complete. And the Divine Masculine is saying, I'm full of butterflies. It means he's going through a massive transformation. So he's going through a transformation, and he's filled with butterflies at the thought of coming to her, because it's so exciting. And she is working on trying to feel complete without him. And so this is causing such a crazy situation. But this thing, presence removes time, is really important, because being in presence with each of them, each twin being in each other's presence, is what makes them feel complete. And the butterflies are just the worries about, oh, does she love me, doesn't she love me, all that kind of teenage love sort of stuff, So let's have a look at the twins, and let's see what does each twin want to say to the other. So about this situation, it's almost like it's like a conversation. I put on my jumper with the baubles to see, because they're kind of fun, and I want to come back to the fun that the twins can have, because they get each other and they have a lot of fun together when they're together. So the Divine Feminine is saying, come and get me. And the Divine Masculine is saying, nothing. And the Divine Feminine's got her eyes closed, and she's saying, come and get me. And she's got you can see there that you've got the soaring birds there above. It's just representing that freedom. It's like when they're in presence and they're in the 5D, they just soar, and they're in this. In fact, that's pretty much where they get why they're not together, because they're just locked in this kind of dreamland where the Divine Masculine goes inside. You can see the moon there in his third eye center, and the Divine Feminine is kind of in this meditative acceptance state, and there's a lot of green energy. See all the heart energy there, and she's just open to him coming to her because she's hopelessly devoted to him. So let's see what the Divine Feminine wants to say back to him and his silence. Right, oh, and then here's him and his, right, it's like an argument. It's like it's like they argue on the 5D, and she's going, she's saying to him, come on, and he's going, oh no. So look, there you go, there's the completion, right? Same thing, you make me feel complete. Remember the Divine Feminine said you make me feel complete? And there you are, you see, and look, the completion is in the third eye. The completion this is the intuition of the Divine Masculine. This is where he finds his completion that the Divine Feminine has introduced him to, so he can use his third eye to see what's going on. And the Divine Feminine is in this kind of like this kind of state of, you know, trying to tell him what to do, but on the 5D. It's like a comedy show, honestly. It cracks me up sometimes what is going on. So let's see what the Divine Masculine wants to say. Look at that. So he's just wanting, look, you see, that's the completion, isn't it? That's all they want, you know, and they both want that. I think it's safe to put that into the middle like that, you know, just that beautiful kind of green heart chakra energy. See the heart chakra energy coming together, and then they've got it's like a pearl, actually. It's like pearls of wisdom almost. I'd never seen that before. I thought of it as the heart, but it is a heart shape as well. But that's really beautiful. So that's kind of like the bridge between them. You know, that's what brings them together, is just, let's forget all these arguments, you know, about you're not saying anything, and she's like willing him to do as she wants in the 5D, and he's like, you know, he's learned to use his third eye center as well. And then it's kind of, let's just not forget that this is what we want, you know, let's come back to that. Let's come back home to that. Yeah. So let's not forget that we are twin flames, right? And that this is what joins us. This truth is what brings us together. There you go. Look at that. You see that? So, and look, it's even the feminine on that side and the masculine on that side. So there's a real kind of merging happening about this division that's between them. But let's see if we can get more about this stubbornness, because I just get that they're both so stubborn. So let's see what the Divine Masculine, let's see what we can get about the Divine Masculine's stubbornness. Because this is what's got them, you know, this is a pair who, I was just seeing them pop, and it was kind of like through the collective, you could see there's this theme of this stubborn energy. See, they're not even getting a card, look. See, Divine Masculine's like, you're not getting a card, I'm not going to flip a card. There you go. Normally one flips, you know, and he's like, no, you're not getting a card. See, stubborn. See what I mean? So stubborn, right? Let's see the Divine Feminine. How stubborn is she? Oh no, there you go. You've got one. What's this one? Third eye chakra. There you go. So you see, he's using his third eye chakra, and she's using her third eye chakra. And look at the colours. Divine Feminine is in those kind of purpley colours. So that's really funny. So let's have a little look at what these ones say. So, oops. What's this one here? Spirals of manifestation. Okay. So yeah, this is about how, you know, manifesting happens in spirals. It doesn't happen in straight lines. It's not a linear thing. It's kind of like, you know, things that, like I think it's the Chinese that say that enemies move in straight lines. So spirals of manifestation, it's kind of like things happen on different levels, and it sort of spirals up and spirals down. I mean, at the moment, like the stubbornness, like between for me, is like I've got to get my teeth straightened. My Divine Masculine's got to give up smoking. It's kind of like, you know, there's this kind of like list of things that each of the twins want each other to go through. But you know what matters is the love between them. And this is what we have to watch for, you see, because the fear sort of spoils the party, you know. The fear is what really causes the divide between them. because it just clouds over what they really feel for each other, which is this beautiful divine love. And I'm not getting anything from that one, so I'm going to use these ones. I've just got these. I'm only learning tarot. I don't actually know what tarot is about, but there you go. I mean, awakening. So look at that shaft of light coming in, and just how that's a kind of, it's kind of like light coming into the darkness, So here we go. You see, here you've got the fear. This is the remedy that's for fear. It's kind of there's something called doctrine of signatures in nature, which is where nature's very clever, and it gives you clues as to what a remedy is, what a plant is for, based on how it looks. So the example I use is that a walnut is good for your brain because it's high in zinc, and so this one is for fear. You can see it's kind of like creepy and scary and things like that, and that's the remedy for it, which is for the fear and the terror. And it's deep fears, this is the thing, fears are at a deep level, but this is kind of like the antidote, because it's coming in or it's coming out, I'm not sure which. There's this kind of shaft of light coming into, I was going to say the darkness, and I don't mean because she's got dark skin. I just mean that there's a difference between those two colours there, the lightness and the darkness. And the light is coming in with the awakening. It's like kind of like a kind of realizing that there's this other reality outside of the fear. And the thing with fear is it creates such a trap. It's you get so locked into fear that you can't see anything other than, you sort of start looking at life through the lens of fear. And this is like changing it and bringing love into the situation instead. So let's see what song that brings the couple. What would they sing as a duet? Oh, there's quite a lot there. Let's do some more. 6. That would be a bit of a long duet. Oh, here we go. Here it is. You can get it if you really want it. How amazing is that? So I hope that uplifts you a little bit on this journey. It's not an easy journey, as I say, but it is a journey of love, and it's a journey of loving yourself. And when you come into your reunion, you both will be more loving and respectful of yourself, and that will affect everything. That will change everything, and that's really the awakening that you go through, because you will have because you've got this mirror, like I pointed out here about the stubbornness between the twins, but because you've got this mirror energy where you're just reflecting each other, then it does kind of make it very challenging, because you're looking at the sides of you that you've rejected. But remember, that's the good stuff as well. So whatever you see in your twin that you just adore, and that fascinates you and that draws you in and intrigues you, that's in you too. And so it's another way of looking at it as well, and it can really help you to love yourself more, because you love your twin so much, and it's such an undeniable strong love. And that if you can allow that mirror to bounce back to you, and allow yourself to receive the love that they want to give you, and they can receive the love that you want to give them. Because the running and the chasing is about not wanting to receive what the other is giving. And so it can be overwhelming when someone's giving you a lot of love and you don't know what to do with it, This is new, this is strange, this is like, what do I do with all of this love? And so this is kind of showing you here, this is just opening up to allowing it in, and allowing it to be an important part of a relationship. And if you're in a relationship where you have a lot of arguments, for example, that's a very mind-based, kind of low energy relationship. And so the journey in this it's a lot of fire, there's a lot of passion between you, that pulls you in like a magnet. But what you're learning and what you're discovering is, you're discovering what love really is. And of course that's what we're all hungry for. So you're going to go back for more, you're going to want to go back for more. It's kind of like a drug. But eventually, as you look in the mirror of your twin, you realize that what you're seeing in your twin is in you. So that is the hurtful stuff and the ugly stuff and all that. But it's the beautiful stuff too. So whatever beauty you're seeing in your twin, and whatever light is shining in their eyes, or whatever you know, whatever it is that you are sort of examining in them, that's in you too. And you know, that can really help you soften, and it can really help you to kind of go inwards and experience this this energy that maybe until now, you know, you haven't experienced. That's the Anahata chakra, which is in your chest. It's where it's the center of feeling love and compassion, and it's closed down in most people because it's very difficult to have an open heart, and when I say it's difficult, just in society, it's not welcomed, it's not appreciated, and so it takes vulnerability to have an open heart. And when you see an open heart, and you see that when you look into the eyes of your divine masculine or your divine feminine, it's like, whoa, what is that? I want more of that. And so you do come together like magnets. And you've got to remember as well, and this is what I wanted to say about the stubbornness, is that, you know, the divine is bringing you together for a reason. And that stubbornness that you've got, if you take that same stubbornness and you put that into another situation, that is the power to, like I said earlier, it's the power to stand up for yourself. It's the power to say no when you need to. It's actually your strength. It's just, it's got out of, you just don't want to lock horns with your divine masculine, your divine feminine, yeah? Because that's not who you want to lock horns with. That's who you want to merge with. So you want to merge with your divine masculine, your divine feminine. And any locking of horns or any standing up or any saying no is to what's outside of that. And that's kind of a key thing. And because this is such a journey to actually the coming together, you know, and that merging of coming together is all part of that, is discovering who you are and discovering who your twin is. By the time you come together, you ain't going to be letting go of each other easily. You know, because the coming together, you know, you have to face so much. But then again, it means that when you're together, you're going to really value each other. You're going to value every conversation. You're not going to want to waste the conversation on, you know, you left the lid off the toothpaste. You know, it's just not going to be relevant to you. Do you know what I mean? It's because you know what is of value in your twin, and your twin knows what is of value in you, that you know each other intimately, even, you know, on a soul level. And so it's kind of like everything's done